Both my grandpas served in the military, one in the Marine Corps, one in the Navy. I always kind of thought that that might be something I might do, and I also knew I wanted to get into law enforcement. The strategy worked well. I was able to do military police with the Army Reserves, and I was hired on with the police department. I became a deputy. I was a member of the SWAT team, and the last 2 years of my law enforcement career worked undercover narcotics full time. It was an exciting career for me, and I got to accomplish a lot of goals that I had. And then in 2009, I got deployed to Afghanistan, and that was a whole different situation. There's a lot of artillery fire going on at night. Sirens going off a lot at that base for rocket attacks. It was hard for me to ever wind down or get some sleep or get some rest. The first week I was there was 3 soldiers that got killed there. And I just kind of thought, I'm not gonna make it home. And I got to the point where that took over.
As a military police, he investigated the death of a child that was about the age of our oldest daughter, Libby, and I know that was incredibly hard.
Just knowing that there was a dead young girl that was close to my daughter's age there, felt like I was in a pretty bad, helpless situation. And I slowly just downward spiraled into the point where I thought, well, if I'm not gonna make it home, why continue to be miserable every day? And I started thinking about suicide, and it seemed to be a resolution.
He had told me, I'm gonna shoot myself, and he goes, Abby, I was sitting there with a gun, and he said I was shaking so bad I had my finger on the trigger. And that the ranger pulled up right next to him. He said 2 soldiers were in it. They just sat next to him, never looked at him, but he had enough respect, and he would be ashamed to shoot himself in front of another soldier that he put his gun down and he drove off. So that's what led to him being medevaced out of Afghanistan.
What I thought when I finally got back in the United States is that everything's gonna be okay now. But my problems continued even long after I was released from active duty. I continued to feel that way. We did individual counseling, we did group counseling. I tried 5 or 6 different kinds of depression medicine. They had me try 2 or 3 different kinds of anxiety medicines. When I continued to try and things weren't helping, hopelessness really was taking over and it wouldn't go away. I still continued to think almost daily that suicide was gonna be the option.
It was a typical Friday. He had slammed his 6-pack very, very fast so he could sleep that night. He was self-medicating. I didn't realize till later that he took too many pills, and he couldn't speak clearly. He couldn't stand up straight.
And I put a loaded .45, my pistol, to my head in front of my wife and young daughter and said I was gonna kill myself.
And I had no idea at that time that, things are that bad emotionally for him. I mean, I thought that once we had gotten him home, that suicide wasn't an issue.
The next day, couldn't believe that I'd behaved that way in front of my children, and it crushed me. I knew that I had crossed the line and I needed help. For the first time in I don't know how long, I felt hope, because I had felt so hopeless. I had tried so many things that hadn't worked for me. It's helped me out tremendously with my depression and blood pressure. I don't take anxiety medicine at all anymore.
This is the true Luke. This is the happy Luke that I knew when he was young and we could laugh and have fun and life was wonderful. And that's where he's at again. And he's opening up, he's telling his story and to help others. And it's not causing him the anxiety, the fits, the sleepless nights. I mean, things are better than they were before he went to Afghanistan.
Transcendental Meditation's about giving you a better quality of life. You're gonna feel better in every aspect of what you're doing.
he made a pledge, and he goes, I'm going to meditate twice a day. And he goes, I promise you, because that was so amazing. He goes, I really think this is going to work, and I'm going to stick with this and see if this isn't one thing that helps us. And it ended up being the thing that changed us.
I had consistently thought about suicide before I'd learned TM. It was the first thing to kind of get that away and get that off my mind.
I don't know that Luke and I would be together. I don't know that Luke would be here if we didn't have TM. That was life-changing, and it did save his life without a doubt.
And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the people that love you, because they deserve it. My girls didn't sign up for the Army, and neither did my wife, and what's made me a better father, a better husband. I finally found what fit for me, and it was TM, and it changed everything.